Okay, we're live. It's RAHR. I've got Marianne with me, and today we are joined by Jamie and Ginny.
Hello.
Welcome to the podcast.
Good morning.
Good morning to all.
How's everybody doing?
Doing pretty good.
It was a very misty morning, but sun's going to be shining, so you got to be doing good.
Yeah,
I know. I woke up excited to see these two faces. I haven't seen these two faces in a very long time.
I had a weird experience this morning.
Oh, did you?
Like right off the top. I have to just
And that would be
get this out. I had a very weird experience this morning already.
You woke up with no hair?
I woke up with no hair. And then I went to walk my dog. And
he didn't have hair.
I'm walking around the block. And I see two women, one on each side of the street, and they're walking up and they're wearing capes. And I'm like, man, yeah, I got to talk about this on the podcast. First I saw one of them. I said, there's a lady walking down the street with a cape. That's weird. I got to talk about that on the podcast. So anyway, next thing was I see the second lady wearing a cape. So now we got two ladies walking down the street with a cape. I'm like, okay, this is getting weirder. There must be a thing, right? So about 40 yards out, the lady shouts at me, "Hey, can I take your picture?" I'm like, sure, lady.
You with no hair, but the ladies with the capes wanted
right.
your picture.
Yeah, so I get closer and I said, you look like you're on a mission. What's going on? And they were from the Yates Community Center, and they were going around taking pictures of people in the community.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, so
how cool.
It was interesting, but I was like, what's going on?
I saw 2 weeks ago someone in that dinosaur outfit. I believe
yes.
His dog. That was really cool.
I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah. I think that's somebody from the Yates Community Center as well.
It might be.
I forgot about that dinosaur outfit. I want one.
That's wild, isn't it? Do you really want one?
Yeah, why not? Why? Do you have one?
Would you wear it?
Yes.
I don't have one, but would you actually? What would you do with a dinosaur costume?
I would walk around town. Oh my God. I would walk around, and it's protection right now.
Yeah, you can wear a mask in it and nobody sees your mask. Oh, I forgot.
Oh,
I almost forgot to take this away from Hawkeye.
I walked into Aldi yesterday and I saw two people wearing masks. So my question for everybody right now is, are we in a place right now where we need to be wearing masks now? Every day.
Personally, I think it's an individual decision as far as whether to or not. The one thing I did hear is that it is helpful to prevent you from touching your face.
Oh, yes.
Right.
That's the one thing that I've heard. It's a good thing about it.
I was thinking of wearing a turban. You know those stylish looking turbans? I know everybody.
I don't think any of them are stylish.
Okay, first off,
yes, be an individual thing.
Okay, so I looked at this. Jesse's here.
Hey, Jesse.
Once you know, my computer wants to do a crucial update at 11 o'clock. So, yeah.
Bad planning.
Really bad planning.
Jesse, I have to ask you a quick question before Jamie does. The bourbon, the bourbon, was that being sold yesterday at 18th Amendment last night?
No, I don't have labels for it yet.
Oh.
You haven't made a decision? It's been a week.
No, they haven't been printed yet.
Oh, okay.
Which one did you go with?
Hopefully soon. We went with the tan label. That was the most popular. Yeah.
Damn. Black.
It's a win. It's a win.
Phil came to the restaurant yesterday. He was like, "So where's that bourbon?" I'm like,
Yep.
Well, Phil, I don't know how to tell you this, but we don't have it yet. So, yeah. What's everyone drinking? Coffee?
Coffee.
Water.
Yeah.
I thought about that.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
So far, water. So far. I have some backup. I have some backup bottles in the back.
Good.
I have plenty of coffee, so I'm good.
Oh my goodness.
And Jess.
Is that one of the press?
It's the French press, and I got the coffee from the flower shop. As you can see, I'm
You're supporting them.
supporting them.
Flower shop. There you go.
Thing.
Well, here.
Oh,
Uh oh.
Jamie, whenever you move, you're moving Ginny as well.
Ginny's got to come along, man. It's like that game where you used to tie your legs together and you have to like run. You're doing it right now.
I just want everyone to know that I got on with Jamie and Ginny a couple days ago to get this all set up and make sure the technology was going to work.
You mean Jamie working?
Look it was a struggle. I mean, we danced, we flipped back and forth a couple times.
I know this is going to be a shocker to you, but we realized that I need to sit on the side of the microphone, not Jamie.
I still don't get it.
Yeah.
What could be the problem?
Yeah, he's got his natural volume.
Shocking.
It works.
Prop this laptop a little higher here. Okay, there we go.
Well, so I guess what's going on with the what's the newest thing going on with you guys? Is there anything really new?
Oh, so, well, it's not new, but it's actually quite interesting. So, of course, with the bed and breakfast, all reservations are canceled to mid-May at this point in time. But yesterday, I got a phone call from somebody. It was a 716 number looking to come here next week for a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
So luckily, I returned the call, and luckily, I just got their voicemail, so I could be very politically correct and customer oriented, saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're closed right now." But the back of my mind, you're thinking, "What are you thinking? Like, what
They want
world?"
out of Buffalo.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah,
they want out of something.
Buffalo. That's right.
Yeah, that's Buffalo area code right there. So
Yeah.
And I thought, what in the hell are they thinking?
Yeah. But I didn't say that.
Ginny, I'm surprised you didn't let Jamie make that phone call to the customer.
That is what would have come out of the mouth.
that's funny. So
Have you noticed? You haven't noticed that much though. People coming trying to get here now.
You know what? Not at the bed and breakfast. Not in the bed and breakfast. I think it might be more whole homes.
Right.
You know, like
We do have a lot of people on our road right now. So I believe they've come back. I don't think they're renters. I think they owned. The reason why we're seeing them now is because they're out walking the road, where normally in the summer they're just staying at their cottage. So we're seeing a lot of people, and we even notice it at night when we sit out, have our wine, and the lights that are on the lake. We've got 3 times as many lights as we had 3 weeks ago. So, so
I've got a view of the outlet trail from here, and I've noticed a lot more people walking up and down. But I think that might just be that there's not really anything else for them to do.
well, that
Right.
could be.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, nobody wants to stay confined in their house 24/7, so they get out and walk. But I do believe a lot of people came here before they were asked, not to come anymore.
Right.
They were already here. We were a little late on that, but you don't know. I mean, everything changes by day, so
Yeah.
you don't know when to tell them to stop. And if you don't have something from the governor that says they can't come, the county legislators can't say, they can't close Yates County. They can only ask people not to come.
Yeah, and you can't blame. I mean, if you're in a city, right? We've got some good friends in Philadelphia, and we're talking to them, and they don't have a home up here, but they're looking to buy a home. And they said that is the first thing that they would do is to get out. So you can't blame the individual for wanting to come up here where we've got fresh air and space, and you can go walking and stay 10 feet apart.
Mm-hmm. And that's part of one of the big things that people have been complaining about as far as differences in class. And, when you see these celebrities put out videos and everybody says, well, that's tone deaf because a lot of people are cooped up in a 1-bedroom apartment with 4 people, and you've got this mansion and this yard, or you can go outside, you can go hiking, and not everybody can do that, especially in the cities.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I mean, if you have a 900 square foot apartment, where are you going? You got 2 rooms. You got your main room and you have a bathroom.
Yep.
That's it. And that'd be a little tight. Now, we got 4 floors here. So if Ginny gets sick, we just find a room for her and we put her in there, and I'll check on her in a couple of weeks.
That's your floor. Here's some rations. Here's some food.
No, Jamie, you would put Ginny in the bottom floor, so you'd make her.
No, she's already picked out her room.
I have picked out the room.
Oh,
Good.
Which one?
So it's the Holmes. It's the one that has windows on 2 sides and it's a covered patio overlooking the lake. So that's the one. Go. Actually, I think it might be the one that you stayed in, Marianne, possibly.
I remember that room.
It was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago, but I love your bed and breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And I would sleep down on the bottom floor on the love seat, because then I have all the necessities. I'll have the refrigerator, the stove. I mean, Ginny will pretty much be on her own.
She'll figure it out.
And there's a lake view.
Then there's a lake view. Yes.
Yes, I have the lake view, the entire lake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is one thing that we were talking about the other night, that we're so fortunate. Actually, we're getting a little spoiled because normally we share this beautiful home with 10 other people, but we've had the opportunity to have the whole thing to ourselves. So we are getting a little spoiled in that vein.
Ginny, I have a question for you. With everything that's happened, you must have an idea how much revenue you've lost so far.
Oh yeah.
And
of course she does. Of course she does.
We all have an idea how much we're losing, which is horrible. Are you thinking about? You're aware of the loans that are being put out there? Are you thinking about applying to any of those loans?
So the one thing, actually, I've been looking at the loans more. I'm on the board for Clinton Crest Manor and the Manor Nursing Home. So I've been looking at it more for them. Part of it, it's all a payroll-based thing, and we don't have any employees. Right. So that doesn't make sense for us because our payroll is pretty much zero. So you can't really get any loans from that point. But I'll tell you, Ryan Hollings has been fantastic at Lions National Bank. I'm sure all of the banks have that, but so I've been researching it and looking at it, but not for the bed and breakfast.
But that payroll protection loan looks to be a really good situation. And I got clarification for businesses who want to apply for that loan and for the disaster loan, as long as you use all the funds for the payroll portion. Yes. And when you go for the disaster, you can use it for other items, because on the payroll, it says you can use it for utilities, rent, and payroll, which is a little confusing because if you're saying you can apply for those other 2 items, then why are you not asking a documentation for rent, right?
I did read someplace that makes sure it's usually going to be a 75% rent, 25% utilities, 25% for the rent, utilities, 75% for payroll.
Right.
I saw that, but it looks like if that amount can just go towards payroll, that's great, because I love the idea of having to pay and bring people back on.
Yep.
That means a lot. And the idea of employees going for part-time, because now part-time unemployment is acceptable now. And then they're going to be getting an additional amount of money per week sometime in April, whenever that's going to roll out. But that's really exciting for people who haven't received money for a while.
Long time.
So I'm really excited for people who are able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
How about you, Jesse?
No, I applied for the loan.
Which one?
Through the SBA. I don't know if you guys
see one or the disaster one, Jesse.
I think that's the disaster relief, and you can get an advance of $10,000 that can be forgiven and all that stuff like that. So I worked with Mike Lapari, and he helped me get through it, and I haven't heard anything back yet. So we're kind of waiting to see, you know, I guess if we're going to get it at all, because you can't even ask for the amount you want. I don't know what everyone else has filled out. You just like tell them how much income you think you've lost, what you make yearly, ask for an advance, and that's pretty much it. And they say they'll get in contact with you if if it's accepted, I guess they said.
I feel like they're having a lot of businesses apply right now.
Oh, I'm sure it's insane.
Right.
Yeah.
Got to be completely overwhelmed.
Yeah. And right now, I think everyone's doing the same thing. Everyone's paying out of their pocket. Just kind of how it works.
You don't have any other choice.
Right.
Yeah.
Hopefully you had a pocket to pull it from.
Right. The people that don't, which I'm sure there's a lot of restaurants that live weekly, just like some people live day by day,
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully they're going to make it through it.
Yeah. I mean, the one good thing here's the glasses are rose colored, but I'm glad that it's happening during somewhat of our slower season, right? So if this was happening in July,
right,
it would be disastrous. But so at the bed and breakfast this time of year, we are busy on the weekends. Weekdays, not so much, hit and miss. So, so usually how we estimate it's we make $1,000 a day for when we're fully booked. So you can, imagine what we're losing every week, even during the non-busy season. So it'll be tough, but we'll get it. We're lucky. We've got savings that we can tap into to pay our bills. So
yeah, the worst time with the spring is it's like practice time.
Right.
You're practicing, you're getting ready for the busy season. You get a new system down, and so now it's going to be like whenever you do it, it's like, bam, hey, this is how it goes. Get ready. It's going to be crazy, especially in a restaurant environment. It's really, Marianne, you kind of get it. It's like you have to like make a plan and start going slowly, and then all of a sudden it becomes a routine and it's easy. Just to jump back into it's going to be chaos. It's going to be crazy at first.
Yeah. And the other thing to that, if you have to introduce new employees while you're trying to, because I think once everything breaks, I'm hoping, it's going to just go fast. Yeah. Everybody's going to be wanting to get back out there.
This is a question I want to ask you guys, is that, okay, so say that we get word saying, okay, you guys can all go back and be normal again, right? For me, I think I might be a little hesitant because I haven't been around people a lot. And I don't know how you guys would feel. I feel like there would be some hesitation, which is probably not such a bad idea.
Is it hesitation, or are those guidelines that we should follow from now on?
Hesitation, because for me, because you guys get to see each other every day, I don't get that kind of socialization so much. I see people at work, and
we're you can tell we're very well liked, so people want to be around us. See.
No, I think she meant that you and I are physically attached.
Exactly what she meant. But I had to throw that out there. When it comes in, it goes back out.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things that I'm most worried about is this is our home. Like, our business is our home. So we can't escape people. Like, this is it. So I know I'm going to be, I'm very focused on cleaning to begin with, but there's a difference between cleaning and disinfecting. I'm going to be in a disinfecting mode.
Right.
All the time.
Right.
So I'm going to be ratcheting it up from that perspective, because we can't escape any place. Besides our little tiny room at the bed and breakfast. That's it. So I am going to be, it's going to be more intense, I think, when we do pick up. I'm
looking forward to that. I'm just wondering what that pattern is going to look like.
It might start off a little slow. Because people are going to be hesitant. But I think given a little bit of time, people will probably go back to their natural habitats and do what they always did.
You're talking about abandoned, buddy, aren't you?
What's that?
Abandoned Thursdays.
Yeah. It would be nice to be able to have a happy hour on Thursdays. Ginny and I are doing just fine. The two of us, we have somebody to chat with, and the Beagle's there, so she's loving this naturally, as Phil's dog probably is too. I think the dogs are enjoying the company. I think I'm just hoping we can just go right, after a little bit of time. I don't know if that's 3 weeks, if that's 4 weeks after everything has ceased, that people can get back out and do their regular stuff.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, you want to take this in, Phil?
I was just showing everybody some updates from Sarah that I guess people are starting to be able to go out again in China, but people are a little bit slow and businesses are still a little bit wary. So,
yeah, there's going to be that point, and maybe that will be our model. We'll know approximately how much time. Who knows?
Well, don't you think that this has also been? I mean, there's some good for the fact that, especially for me, since I work all the time, I don't spend that much time with my family or with people like I used to. Like, there's so much I've missed out on because all I want to do is work. So hopefully maybe this is like, you get to like, maybe it'll be different. People spend more time with their families. I don't know. I'm hoping it kind of gets you out of rut because we all get into this, like, where you just, we're creatures of habit, just this routine where that's all we do. So you work, and then I've been kind of enjoying seeing family and chatting with them. And I mean, I guess really I've just been saying hey and walking out the door more than anything. Now you actually have to talk, see how each other are doing, all that stuff. It's kind of different. So, yeah.
Yeah, that is very true.
I agree with you because I feel like my life for the past year or so has been so robotic. I wake up, go to work, do this, go to the other work. And for me, like the other day when after we closed up the wine bar, I went out for a walk. And I'm trying to get at least 2 miles in just to like clear my mind and see everything. And it's super nice. And then walking down Main Street and seeing the businesses. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever really walked and looked in their buildings. So it was just something nice to see. And then we went to the outlet trail last week on Phil, and that was fun. Got ticks on me, but I mean, took care of that.
Yeah.
I've been getting ticks down there.
What's that?
I've been getting ticks down there.
Yeah, 3 the other
You gotta
day.
make sure you check yourself.
I walked so much.
What'd you say, Jenny?
How did you take care of that? How did you get the ticks off of yourself?
Forceps.
I used a stick and flung it off.
Oh yeah, hers were not attached. Mine was attached.
Oh, okay.
So hers we brushed off. Mine, I took some sharp forceps. You just grab right down by where they attach, and you slowly pull it straight out.
Phil, where was your tick again?
On my butt.
So
That's easy to get to, isn't it?
It's not easy because it was I had to reach all the way around. It's hard.
how did it get on your butt? What were you doing?
And I can't ask somebody to help me because it's social distancing, right?
All right.
Somebody should explain that to the tick.
I know. Somebody needs to educate these ticks about social distancing right now.
That's not good.
No, but good news about the outlet trail for anybody going down there is if you like the Cascade waterfall, which is kind of the second one downstream that has all the buildings around it currently, that's going to be getting cleaned up a little bit more this spring, hopefully, if they can still go ahead with that with all of the restrictions that we have right now. But in the meantime, got a brand new parking area that's going to be great. We're going to be able to fit way more cars. It's a lot nicer now. So
Cool.
we'll be able to get more people down there.
Good.
Awesome.
Good.
So can I bring up a controversial subject? This might bring some differing opinions. All right. So we have the moving patients from New York City upstate, and then we have the order that was put in today. That was I read an article by John Christensen, Chronicle Express, of National Guard coming up to take unused ventilators. What's everyone's thought on those two subjects?
Let's go with Jamie first.
Because he won't be able to keep his opinions.
Jamie's the
Go ahead.
politician.
You go first.
He's the politician.
I think it's just wrong. I understand if they don't have enough beds down there. But it seems as though with a city as large as New York, that you would be able to find something to turn into a medical facility versus having to bring them up here. Because isn't it the same kind of deal? I mean, if we're moving around these patients don't we take a chance on spreading more of the virus in this area versus keeping it where it is? And if Penn Yan only has 2 ventilators, how much? I know that's going to help 2 people in New York, but what if we have 2 people here that we need it?
Right.
Then we have nothing. And I just think that's wrong, all the way around.
Yeah, so I think philosophically, I agree that if there's excess, you should transport the excess to where it's needed. That's philosophically.
Right.
And theoretical. In reality, I get nervous because at some point we're gonna in the large upstate New York area, we're gonna have the spike up, and I don't think we're gonna get those ventilators back. That's what I'm more worried about, is when we need them, we won't get them back here. Yes, we might get money for them and we might get paid, but if you can't buy any ventilators, the money's worthless. So it is a little scary.
Phil, Marianne?
I think it's tricky. It's a complex issue, obviously, right? So we've been talking about flattening the curve. Everybody's talking about flattening the curve.
Right.
And what that means is 2 things, right? One is that we don't want to have such a spike in cases that the hospitals can't handle it. So we're going to flatten the curve. We're going to make it so less people get it at a time. But that means it's going to take us longer to get to things like herd immunity. So the flattened curve is also longer. So when you look at that, it's scary because it means that the issue that they have in New York City right now isn't going to be over in 3 weeks. As much as they might say, we want to get this handled and under control, it's not going to be over in 3 weeks because they've lengthened the amount of time it's going to take to go through everybody and for everybody to get it. Right.
By flattening it, you're extending it.
Right. So then you look at the ventilator issue, right? So they've extended that down there. So we're probably not going to get those ventilators back.
No.
Right.
The only hope is that we give them those ventilators, and then the ventilators that they're ordering right now come to us.
Or we put ours on a trailer and we just keep riding them around so they can't find them. How's that? Boom. Got it. See, there's an easy fix to everything. Hide them.
I'm completely fine with if we have more than we need right now, I'm okay with them having them right now, but we have to look out for our people too.
Right. Two. Remember this number, 2. We only have 2. So how could we have an overabundance?
Where do we have 2?
It's the broader upstate New York. It's not.
Who has 2? Penn Yan?
Apparently, Yates County
Soldiers
and Sailors has 2.
Soldiers and Sailors.
So I
wonder how many Geneva has, or Thompson, because those are.
Can't imagine.
Probably not.
I think they could only maybe double that number. I mean, maybe Geneva would have 4. I mean, how many of these things are needed at once in with just regular like pneumonia and things of that nature? I would think you'd only need a handful.
My girlfriend works for RNet Ogden, which is a pretty big hospital there in Elmira. And I think she was telling me, and I'm not sure on the exact number, I think it was 6 that they have. And that's a big hospital.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's not that much.
And if it wasn't 6, it's definitely not more than 10. I mean, she's saying, it's just used in the ICU. I mean, just.
Yeah. And what's within, say, a 50-mile radius, how many people are there? 30,000?
In Elmira, there's got to be double that. You know? Yeah.
Yeah. So 6, very small number.
So do we know the exact numbers that have been transported, been moved around?
I don't think so.
I do not.
We need somebody to be Googling those things. Jamie, you Google that?
We need a Jamie. We have a Jamie.
We have a Jamie.
all this information.
I'm surprised you don't know that, Jamie.
Well, town of Jerusalem has no hospitals. How's that?
Okay.
We have no ventilators.
Jamie, are you still having meetings with everyone in office?
No. We canceled our planning and zoning board meetings for this month. Our CEO's working. Our highway department and the office help is staying at home, working from home. For that side, our assessor's working from home. But now that the construction side has Cuomo has dialed that down, I think his work's going to be a lot less. But we still want to be able to plan, do planning and zoning. So we're kind of in you don't want there to be a big lull when this is all over and have to try to have 10 different applications come to your planning board in 1 month. You know what I'm saying? So it's normally about 4 or 5 per month. So we want to sort of keep that flowing. But we had to give it up for 1 month because we've got to be able to put something in place so that we can do this remotely as we are doing today. And that because town meetings have to be able to be viewed by the public. And naturally we don't want them attend our meetings. And possibly we could spread out far enough, maybe have a couple from home and have 3 people at the office. You might be able to get away with that, but the best case scenario would be to conduct the meetings, everybody do it just the way we're doing this. And then the community is able to come in and watch it. And that would be the best scenario. But naturally, everything costs money. You could say that as a town, we kind of got caught with our pants down. But a little teeny town like Barrington or the town of Jerusalem, we never had access. Nobody ever worked from home. We're still mostly paper transactions. We don't have scanners, but these are things in the future that we're going to have to look into so that we can scan all of our documents and everything will be in the cloud instead of having to go to the office to get these documents because we haven't kept up. The town hasn't kept up with the town and moved forwards, and mostly probably because we are small. Nobody ever thought we were going to have to stay home for a month or 2 months. And our sewer department, they're still working because they're essential. The guys are still working. They're doing a couple of days on, a couple of days off. Highway department's essential. One crew, we've split them up into 2 crews, or Tony did. Tony Hurd, the highway superintendent. So one crew works the same kind of deal a couple of days because right now they're on 410s for the summer. So one crew's working 2 days, 2 10-hour shifts. The other crew's working 2 10-hour shifts, and then everybody takes Friday off. So we've kind of dumbed it down. I mean, it's very difficult for the town clerk because right now naturally it was tax time. Taxes are still coming in, and naturally we were flooded the last day, of March because everybody wants to get it in before the 1st. And these envelopes have to be, naturally they have to be hand opened, so you try to spray everything down when it comes from the post office, our drop box outside, and try to spray everything down and get it as clean as you can before you're handling it, and wear gloves and things of that nature. So it's kind of it's been tough, but everybody's gotten through it very well, I think. But the strange thing is, and you may have the same problem in Barrington, Justice, it's really weird. Most people, when they said to stay home, they were absolutely fine with staying home.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody in the town of Jerusalem wants to come to work, which is fantastic that we have that problem, that everybody wants to work, but trying to get through, their way of thinking that if everybody's in the building, somebody's getting sick. So we're trying to only allow one person, because our building's small, one person in the building at a time, and try to schedule their workloads in that manner so that we can send in, because we also have a lady that does our rec program, Bev Eggleston. She's been coming in and sterilizing the building, and we have a little sheet so that where you went, if you went to the bathroom, if you went to have a cup of coffee, if you moved out of your office, we want to make sure that she knows so that we can keep everything very clean.
That's good.
That's kind of how we've been handling it.
Yeah. The town,
So how long you?
the town of Barrington. I guess we're kind of doing almost the same thing, Jamie. Other than we did have a board meeting, but not really. I guess 3 of them kind of got on video chat and signed the general bills. That was all they did. They didn't make any big decisions or anything like that.
We were able to have our March meeting, and I took all the chairs that were in the room, and at that time we were able to have 50% occupancy.
I think it was 10.
Oh
10
no,
people.
kept us to
10
10.
people.
That's right, kept us to 10.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 6 people, including the town clerk who does the minutes, and we were able to have 4 people in the audience if needed. Naturally, I think only the newspaper came. Yeah, John Christensen, I think, was the only one that came. So that worked out easy. We were able to spread out all the chairs so that everybody was 10 feet away. It worked well. But going forwards, we need to have, right now, we've got our IT person looking into laptops for the people that are home. Not everybody, can afford to have a laptop that has Windows 10. Some people have older laptops, so we've had to purchase some. I think we're in the process of purchasing 5 or 6 laptops right now, and coming up with a way to Skype our meetings or do it in this fashion that we're doing it right here.
Yeah. Now, what did you think about with code enforcement? I guess everybody. So now you can no longer hand out a building permit at all unless it's emergency.
Right.
So now code enforcement's almost like you're like a glorified firefighter, really. Anytime there's a fire call, you go out to it, and that's pretty much all you do. My main concern, and this is a controversial opinion, idea. How many people in our county work under the table for construction? If you really go and think about it,
they may not.
There's got to be a lot, and those guys can't file for unemployment. Right.
Or what they've done is I call it cooking your books, where, maybe half the stuff you're putting on the books, the other half you're sticking in your pocket.
Right. Those people are hurting.
Right. And if you didn't put that money aside so that you have it, whether it's in your mattress or your pillowcase or in your lockbox in the bank, if you spent that money, even if you can file for unemployment or some kind of assistance, it's going to be very small because you've kept your wages, what the government sees of your wages, very small.
But now you get the extra $600 a week.
Oh, that's if you can apply for unemployment and this PUA.
But didn't you? I don't know if I understand that unemployment fully. Naturally, I'm not able to get it. But is it $600 a week?
Addition.
On top.
So it's addition to whatever you're going to make. So if you're going to make $100, then you get $700.
Right.
If you max out at the 405, you're going to get $1,005.
You got it.
Okay.
Automatically, or do you have to prove that that's lower than what you made before?
I believe the extra 600 is automatic.
Automatic.
Yeah.
Automatic.
Okay. Yeah. See, I didn't have to look too much into that because the town, naturally, we have to keep paying everybody.
Right.
Whether they were part-time, full-time, the government, he said, continue paying. So we have to continue paying, which constituents that I've seen out there, they seem to be okay with it.
Absolutely.
They're all right with us still paying them. I mean, it was in the budget, so it's there,
Right. It's budgeted. So, I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to pay it one
I mean,
way
you
or
are,
the other.
yeah,
Right.
you are going to have some people that's saying, well, look at the money we could be saving right now for next year. But look at the people that would be hurting in the process, you know, so.
I think we need to focus on the now rather than what the future looks like, because we don't know what the future looks like.
Right.
Correct.
You got to take care of your people now.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, that's what I'm worried about is the people that, and I know a lot of people, especially in little Dundee, small town. There's, you know, it's hard to be a big time employer, and there's a lot of people that work under the table. And I'm pretty concerned for those people. I mean, I know, I guess they're not properly paying in like the rest of us, but you know, they still got to survive and support their families. So
Right. And if nothing else, maybe they will start doing business a little better after this is over.
Yeah.
You know, and have all that on the table, not under the table.
Yeah. I haven't looked at it in detail yet, but there's if you get denied for unemployment insurance, there's this next phase. It's called the PUA. What does PUA stand for? Pandemic? I have no idea. Unemployment
assistance?
Insurance.
Assistance. Yep, that makes sense. So there are pieces of that. So say you were going to be starting a job next week that was going to be paid, but you never actually started it. You actually can get this PUA. So they are trying to extend the unemployment. I don't know if, you know, under the table contractors would fit that or not, but
You know, it would be a really good.
But at least they could find out how many's out there.
oh, they could definitely find out. That's one way, because they're hurting. I'm telling you.
So, and is that going to keep them from applying? Because they've cheated the government. Do they dare to apply? You know, who knows?
No way. No. I
they
don't
like
think
living
so.
off the grid.
Yeah, no.
That's part of what we talk about with illegal immigrants.
Yeah,
Right.
it's the same deal. Yep.
But for
So
anyone who does have questions about the unemployment, I would suggest going through Workforce. And I've spoken to Lisa Principio earlier this week, and she had a lot of really good information. And if she doesn't know, she'll look into it. So the Workforce, Yates Workforce, if anyone has any questions, reach out to them. They're still working. So that would be a good resource. Because I know when I'm looking in front of the laptop or computer, there's a lot of information on the New York City website.
Yeah.
But you get so confused because it's like, how does this one story of an employee apply to this?
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone is black and white. It's a lot of gray. But a lot of us were not prepared for this. And it keeps changing on a daily basis. You have to go to work every day being flexible. I'm like, okay, so how does this work now? But I would, again, suggest Lisa Principio at the Workforce. Reach out to her and she'll help you out.
Yeah, and there's a lot of information out there. Every day. Town, I'm getting a dozen emails at least, if not more, just on this. Everybody's sending you information about the corona, you know, and all the latest stuff. So it's a lot of information to absorb right at the moment, you know, because everybody wants you to be informed. Every group you do business with, insurance, lawyers, you name it, auditors, they're all sending you stuff. So it's kind of crazy.
One thing I wanted to add too, I know at one point we're going to be receiving this money because remember we're supposed to be getting, or we're hopefully getting this $1,200. Remember we talked about that at one point. Just remember, no one's going to call you and ask you for your routing number for anything like that. You know how there's been schemes.
Oh, right. They already have your information on your taxes.
Yes, I just want to
do not accept phone calls.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's just a scary time, but just it's a good reminder for, especially I want to remind my parents, like, don't talk to people on the phone. Just stay home.
Right. Unless you want to give your $1,200 to me, please feel free to give me a call.
Never give anybody any kind of information over the phone.
So the other thing with that $1,200, it's not taxable, but also it is more in advance for next year's return.
Aha!
So
and
it's not free.
Where's that money coming from?
Nothing ever comes for free.
Right, exactly.
So are they? So you think they're going to take that same amount back next year?
Off your taxes, yeah.
Off of your return. So say normally you get back $2,000 a year. In 2021, you're gonna get $800 back.
Right.
So people that pay in are going to pay in another $1,200.
Yes.
So I'm going to be paying in even more money. That's going to be
Bingo.
ridiculous.
So it's an advance on next year's
It's an
tax.
IOU.
Right.
Oh, great! Another $1,200 they get to make from me. Thanks.
Yep.
Interesting.
Boy. Anybody know a child that needs to be adopted, 2 or 3? I'll take them.
What about
Just for a short period.
gray-haired children?
Oh, God. So on a
Go ahead.
non-serious note, Phil, have we talked about the hair yet?
It's RAHR.
Have we talked about this?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Briefly. We got a couple comments.
Phil is bald. Oh, okay. All right. But, so tell the people at home, Phil. Tell the people at home why you got rid of your beautiful, miraculous.
It was beautiful hair.
Yeah.
I got a COVID cut. It's if there's a pandemic, I don't need to be, washing and drying my hair.
You still have facial hair.
Well, sure. I mean, I can't shave my beard.
True.
That'd be nonsense.
Just have facial hair.
I wouldn't have there would be
like
nothing.
an egg.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Jamie has this way of inspiring people to shave their head.
I think and then we have a pandemic, and I start growing mine back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really there.
Well, with all the barbershops closed down, I think we might see some interesting hairstyles over the next month or so.
That's how you end up with locks like this. I mean,
Yeah.
No, you've been growing that before, Jesse. Don't kid yourself.
Sorry.
And those of us that look the other way, it's going to be interesting to find out which women have the real hair color and which ones don't. That's going to be interesting.
You notice the hat?
Oh boy.
I can't take care of my hair, so I'm doing the hat situation. But
Jamie, you're poking a bee's nest, man. I don't want anything to do with this. I'm out of this.
Going back to my comment of wearing turbans. I want to wear stylish looking turbans, so I'm going to pull that. I guess still look kind of pretty.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we've been doing to keep ourselves busy and entertained is we are.
Is it Jamie enough?
Oh, what I'm going to tell you, what we do even amps up the entertainment value.
Oh, yeah.
So we're experimenting with different cocktails every night. And so I think Jamie has perfected the old fashioned. So Jesse, he loves your Sazeracs, and he's got all the ingredients, and he's been playing around with that a little bit. What's the trick?
The trick. Okay, you guys are going to love this. So I'm planning on starting, I think maybe tomorrow or maybe next week. I'm going to make cocktails on Facebook for everybody.
That's
different cocktails every week, the exact science on them, how they're done. But so the Sazerac, I mean, the big thing with that people don't do at home is they don't rinse their glass with absinthe.
He's got it because he sees you do it, so he's doing that.
I've done that.
Yeah, so you rinse your glass with absinthe, and then you throw in your sugar cubes right after, and then you put in your Peychaud's bitters, and crush.
Where do I get that?
So Peychaud's bitters. Oh God, I don't know. I get it through a distributor.
Because we use, what bitters do we use?
That, and it starts with an A.
Oh, so you just use your regular just cocktail.
Yeah, Manhattan.
Because we don't have anything else.
Yeah, so that's where Sazerac is only a Sazerac because of the Peychaud bitters.
Ah.
So
there you go.
That's the number one thing that makes it a Sazerac, and they're the red bitters. They're a lot different than your regular old fashioned bitters.
Okay.
Right.
So that's why it's
Jamie
not
been making?
the same.
I've been making my style of a Sazerac, of course.
What is it?
So he's been making a absinthe rinsed rye old fashioned, probably is what is really what it's what it would be without the Peychaud's. But I mean it's close. But because you use good rye whiskey. I add some cognac to mine because I think it's kind of Jerry Thomas did it in New York City at a bar called Milk and Honey. He's famous, so that's the way I was doing it. And
got some cognac.
Yeah. So
We do have, I think we have good rye whiskey. We're using Knob Creek. I mean, if,
Oh, yeah.
if price has anything to do with whether it's good or not, I think that's right up there.
yeah,
I think we're going to have to ratchet the quality down a little bit.
Knob Creek's good stuff, but I'm gonna be doing cocktails each week, and I'll put Sazerac on there on the list of one. I'm doing the Manhattan, the old fashioned, and I'll throw the Sazerac on, and
Sweet.
I have a couple others. I think people are gonna enjoy it at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we've been doing evenings. That, and we jump in the hot tub every night because that gives me a full body cleanse. That's how I look at it.
Is that what you're? I mean, I hope that's not your goal. I hope are you still showering though, right?
Yes. But I feel good every single night. Jump in that hot tub and let the chlorine eat everything off your body. You know what I mean?
Oh.
There you go. That sounds scary, but hey, maybe it works.
Can you Facebook Live that, please?
No.
No.
Under the bed and breakfast. Not personal. We want under the bed and breakfast.
Yes, this is the Steamboat Castle. You can get this show. Is there a matinee?
I hope so.
3 and 4.
Oh boy. Oh, that's funny.
Wow.
What others have been doing? I mean, sure, others have hot tubs. They're doing the same thing.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
So I had a bed and breakfast question for you guys that I've wanted to ask you before and I've never brought up. So I know we're a ways away, but just enlighten me on the subject. Can you serve people alcohol in your bed and breakfast? Can you leave it out for them, or would you get in trouble if they got a DWI or something?
So we cannot serve or give them or provide for free or anything like that, any alcohol, unless we have a liquor license. They can go out and they buy their own and they can come back here and they can drink their own, but we can't do anything. Even giving, we've got some people that, their anniversary and they ask, can you purchase a champagne for us to have in the room? And I have to say I can't. I mean, if they want to call Cupid Springs or someplace and they pay Cupid Springs for the wine, then I can go and pick it up, but I can't legally do anything like that.
I mean, we looked into it in the beginning because we thought it would be kind of cool, but it was 2 things. One, if you have a happy hour every day, that means you have to be home every day at that time.
Well, if you had a happy hour, I'd be there.
That's good to know, Jess.
Yeah.
But then we thought about the other side. If people came back here after being out and about all day long, we don't know how much they've consumed. And if they come back to the bed and breakfast and they hang out here for 2 hours and they keep consuming and then they go out to dinner or what have you, we don't want to be held responsible either.
Right.
Yeah.
So one exception is if a bed and breakfast has a winery, they can, under their farm license, they can provide that. So I know New Vine Bed and Breakfast, that's what they do. So they leave for their guests, but it's their winery.
Great.
So.
Cool. Well, hey, that's good information. I always wondered that. I always wondered if that was allowed or not. So.
Why, Jesse, you gonna come up with a bed and breakfast?
No. I was wondering about liquor liability for bed and breakfast and liquor license. I always wondered what they did, and because I know some who probably don't follow the rules do it. I mean, I didn't know if it was legal, how it worked, all this stuff. So.
Yeah, we've heard of a few. I mean, talking to other owners and things, and we also know one owner that was contacted by the liquor authority to shut his operation down.
Whoa.
Yeah, because he was putting it on his website.
To stop serving
alcohol.
I thought you meant to shut the whole.
No, not the whole operation. Just stop serving alcohol. Because apparently they do have somebody that's checking out websites and things of that nature. And if you have happy hour on your website, or you have a free bottle of wine with your purchase of a room, you're technically selling alcohol.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have on, I think there's been 3 occasions. So we've had 3 small weddings here, and I have given the newlyweds champagne.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
You know,
What
but
are you gonna do?
I'll bleep that.
Yeah. that.
You've given the newlyweds. Bleep.
Water.
You got to be a little quicker.
What did they give the newlyweds? I have to know.
Ginny's famous cookies.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, she made up a bunch of those the other day.
yes.
Granddaughters
Yep.
had to have some.
Are you still baking every morning?
No, my gosh, I'd be 300 pounds if I did all of that. No, just for the granddaughters. They love. One likes the oatmeal, and the other one likes the chocolate chip. So.
And then Ginny's dad is chocolate chip, so we had to make some for him.
He has to have his chocolate chip. Yeah.
He's got to have his 2 cookies before he goes to bed and his warm milk.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds all right.
Do you guys know you had the first cocktail with Barrington Distillers bourbon? That old fashioned I made you was with my bourbon.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
That was
was
good.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So that double.
It definitely would taste
Yeah.
better sitting at the bar with you,
Yeah, I'm sure.
but I enjoyed it. I really did. It tasted very good.
And then was that bourbon used for the Sazerac also?
No, Sazerac's rye whiskey and,
Right.
and then a little bit of brandy, so no, wasn't ours.
Okay.
No, Ginny was the first person. She's the winner.
Okay.
She
Oh,
won.
Ginny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, there's
Yay.
Not Jamie, Ginny.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you really want to be technical, Phil's the first person to actually drink it. He was drinking it straight out of a glass. I mean, he's an animal. So
I'm
Wow.
an animal.
yeah.
Well, I believe I saw your dad taking some nips off of a bottle at the distillery.
Yeah, my dad's pretty good for that too. He's a professional.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It looked like it looked like a saloon in the Western days. Just take the whole bottle and take
Yeah,
a
might
little
as
hit,
well.
slug her back.
Boy.
Oh, well. Jesse, do you need to get going or can you keep going?
I got probably I'm here good for another 15, 20 minutes.
All right.
That's when we usually stop, so I delayed my other engagements.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
What
thanks.
other engagements do you have?
I'm making peach pie moonshine with a friend of mine, Tim McCracken. I don't know if anyone knows him or not, but he's a
Is that Bill's kid?
no. He's from Elmira. No, he lives in Park 735 in Barrington, so he's a buddy of mine.
Sounds good.
Jamie, I just solved your problem for your Jerusalem meetings
Okay.
to be able to socially distance. Why don't you just all get on your boats and your canoes and kayaks and just do it on the lake? You shout from one boat to the other.
What
Well,
if
you
somebody
have to shout.
have a boat? I don't think the constituents want us to buy a boat just to have a meeting.
Hey,
That's
you never
true.
know. They're still paying all the people that are working from home.
No, the town of Jerusalem people will be in an uproar. Don't buy a boat.
Yes.
Don't do it.
And so far, since I took over, we have not been in the paper for any wrongdoings. Everything's been good so far.
But
We
if you do,
handed the reins over to either Barrington or Starkey
No.
or one
No,
of those
Barrington is
places.
done.
We're done. We're done. And I didn't understand why people got so mad at the town for buying, different things. And then I started paying taxes on my distillery. And every time they're like, "Hey, do you want to raise?" I'm like, "Am I gonna have to pay taxes on my own raise? I don't know if I want to."
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. You
true.
start thinking a little more. You're like, "Do I really need this pen and paper? I can just use something from home. I'm not gonna buy it. I don't want to pay taxes on it." So.
Yeah, because every item in every building that everybody uses has a price tag.
That's 100% the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything
Why
costs
move
money.
it all digital.
Yes, that's why it would be good to be all digital. Correct. You would, yes, up front it's a costly, thing. But on the back end, you eliminate most of that pen and all that paper and all that ink and these big, printers and all of that nonsense. And you got everything in the cloud and you can just pull it down. I mean, naturally with a pole, but because there's still people out there that have no idea what a cloud is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ginny,
Yeah,
can I ask you a
definitely
question?
training.
Mhm.
How have you been handling this and seeing your dad?
So my father, he's 84, and he just lives a mile down the road. So that makes it very convenient. But he, for his entire life, is a putzer, right? He needs to physically be doing things. He will not he can't sit there to read a book. He doesn't do puzzles. I've tried all of those type of things. So this is really a struggle for him. So he does go out and he's volunteers at the Once Again shop. So he goes there every morning before anybody comes and checks to make sure that the furnace is still working. So that's one outing. He goes to the post office and picks up his mail.
Which is right in Cuca Park.
Correct.
Okay.
So there's certain places. 3 times a week he'll go to his girlfriend's and have dinner. He'll stop by
Don't
here
tell
once
his
in a while. But the one neat thing is, so it used to be that Dad and I, even though we were so close to each other physically, we would talk maybe once or twice a week. Now, every day, at least once, we're talking. But he can't stay on the phone very long. That's just not him. So it's a check-in. He needed some like Clorox wipes, and I can't find any, so I made him a little homemade package of that to keep in the car. Always give him leftovers, so make sure that he's happy and content.
And in doing so, we've had to cook more meals, so I'm hoping he's very grateful.
Are you saying me or are you saying Ginny?
Yeah. Do you like that?
I watched Ginny.
Yeah.
That's a we, right?
Ginny, when you did the your own Clorox wipes, did you use essential oils?
I did. I put a couple drops of it wasn't essential
Is that
oils.
a plug? Is that a plug?
Here, guys, yeah.
It's a running joke. What kind of essential oils did you use? Did you use lavender?
Tea tree oil.
No.
Tea
It
tree?
was something
tree
I
oil.
got at,
Damn tea tree oil.
Oh, I love tea tree oil.
Eucalyptus.
I love that smell.
So
What's your-
my girlfriend is right now. She loves Phil. She thinks Phil's awesome, but she's like, when I see Phil, we're fighting over the tea tree oil comment. It's over. Like she says, like legit, like hands up. You got to fight her, Phil. There's no choice.
Hey, I
Can I sell
have
tickets to
my
this?
very own bottle.
I have my own very own
Yeah.
bottle. Good for you, Phil.
I have my very own, and I have a bottle of lavender oil, but just because I like the smell of it.
So
do you rub it on the bottom of your feet before you go to bed?
No, I put it on my humidifier in the wintertime.
You should put it on the bottom of
Does
your
your
feet.
humidifier feel better?
What is it going to do to the bottom of my freaking feet?
It's gonna make you cozy.
cozy. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
yeah, that's what you want to be.
Yep.
That sounds real manly.
No,
Hey,
it's just him and the dog, you know.
he's gonna do it tonight.
How
Can you
cozy
imagine-
can Phil and his dog get? Come on.
I always wonder why Phil smells like lavender every time he comes in the bar.
Oh,
Like,
come on.
Phil, you smell
Like a
very
woman.
girlish today.
Lavender at least is a good smell.
Yeah, true. You can smell worse. Yeah,
Could smell like tea tree oil.
That's,
See, I love the
that's
smell
true.
of tea tree oil.
Phil, you're gonna make her mad again. I'm gonna have to hear about it. She's watching right now.
There's no way
Don't
she
bring it
likes
up.
the smell of it. There's no way she
Oh,
likes
God.
the smell of it.
It smells good.
It
I
doesn't.
like
Tea tree oil?
I like the smell of it. Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It smells so bad that even mosquitoes won't come near you when you got it on.
It's doing its job.
It's doing its job.
But you know what else mosquitoes stay away from you is if you use lavender oil.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, so
And mice also will stay away from you if you use lavender.
Who will?
Mice.
Oh, mice, yeah. And
Mice?
deer.
oh,
Whenever I put lavender oil on, if I see a deer in the field and I start to walk toward it, it just runs away.
There you go. That's
Yeah, that
not good
was
for
so
hunting.
Yeah,
for me, Phil.
No. No. Yeah, not good for hunting. So I'll be bottling the first bottle of hand sanitizer today. That'll be fun.
yay.
You guys will see a post. It'll be nice and cool and all that fun stuff.
And you got the labels in.
Yeah, labeled, ready to go.
And they're black.
So
And
They're
they're
black, right?
Yep.
They're black labels.
Yeah.
All right.
and it's a very liquidy type of thing, right? It's not a jelly.
It won't be as much gel. No.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just alcohol, aloe vera gel, glycerin, tea tree oil, and eucalyptus.
Ooh.
That's why we were joking about the essential oils for the tea
Gotcha.
tree and the eucalyptus. Yeah. So,
Great.
it'll be cool. We're giving a lot away, so we plan on giving a case to soldiers and sailors, some to the police department, some to any other hospital that's really needing it, because a lot of them are still, even though everyone's making it, still struggling to keep
Right.
it.
Can you add Clinton Crest Manor and the Manor to your list?
Sure.
For me?
Yeah.
That's a great
I
idea,
can
Jane.
definitely put a case aside for them. So.
Yes, thank you.
Is there anything else going on at the Manor?
At the Manor, I mean, so when the Manor, well, the Manor and Clinton Crest, they're both no visitors allowed to come in. So, it's all on the staff to keep the residents entertained and engaged and active, which is quite a bit. So I know at Clinton Crest Manor, they're trying to encourage all of the family members to write letters, and then the residents will write letters back. So I've got one of the things on my list to get is a stack of stationery and stamps to give to Clinton Crest so that they can keep that going. But that's on the list.
That's a nice
so.
idea.
Yeah, but the staff is doing a phenomenal job in keeping all of the residents entertained and safe. There's no issues yet with illnesses, so
That's great.
That's good.
Ginny has been helping to feed the staff. She made how many empanadas?
empanadas. I think it was 100 empanadas.
She
Oh,
made,
nice.
and I sampled a few,
Good.
and
Good
I
man.
do have to say that they were, I just wanted to make sure nobody was going to get sick. None of the workers
Right.
at the, at the Manor or Clinton Crest. So I had to, sample a little bit from each bunch just to make sure that, everything was good.
Thank you.
Marianne, real quick, if somebody does get the coronavirus, which is, we're going to know somebody that has it eventually. What kind of essential oil should they use for that?
I do not know, but I already do know somebody that had the virus.
You
did?
do. So it's
Yeah.
real now.
No, it's not here in Penn Yan. He lives up by Watertown. Tim Kelly, he's a great guy. He's in the Elks. I think he was a past state president. And I just talked to him yesterday, and he said that he came into contact with somebody. He self-quarantined for the last 15 days, feeling okay. So he's doing well. So
Good. I thought you were going to say Tom Hanks. So I was going to say, hey,
No,
hey, listen,
well-
Jamie, we all know Tom. Nice
I know
try.
Tom.
Don't go there. All right.
It's not anybody's fault.
I'm going to
Yeah.
say, I don't know.
it was very interesting because he contacted me to see if, just for the hell of it, because we're Facebook friends, to see how the bed and breakfast was doing, and I said that we were closed down, and I told him to be safe, and then he came back. Well, I thought I was being safe, but I still came into contact with somebody, but I guess apparently everything's okay. So
That's good.
yep.
Are the Elks doing anything right now? What's going on with the
No,
Elks?
we're not. Grand Lodge, New York State, and Grand Lodge has pretty much shut us all down. They're trying to do meetings and things of that nature remotely. Our convention in May, which was down by New York City, that's been canceled. Brian Green, the current, the current state president, he canceled his homecoming dinner, which was coming up, and we're still waiting to hear. And also in the Lions, they've canceled their convention for this spring. And the Grand Lodge, which is supposed to be down in Baltimore in July, right around the July 4th area. We're not sure if that's being canceled yet or not. But.
Well, the one thing that we've got to do, so there's Elks National Foundation, and they give grants, and they've got some grants that they're giving out. So we're going to be filling one out for the benefit of the Living Well and Hope Center.
Yeah,
Oh,
through it's a gratitude grant that
Yep.
they've got going right now. It's the first grant, pretty much. And it's an easier one to get, and they even suggested to maybe apply for lodges to apply this. It's free money from Grand Lodge, and give it to your food pantries at this time. So, which would be good. So. We'll see about getting that. I think that's a $2,000 grant. So that would give two entities $1,000 apiece. Our local Lions Club, because I'm on the executive board there. Actually, I will be King Lion this coming year for our Penn Yan Lions. We gave. All right. They're just all animals. Okay. Want to hear anything about the horns?
More like Mufasa.
I was thinking. I thought he meant like in like the Tiger King, the Netflix show. I thought he meant like the Lion King. Like I thought he was gonna get lions, do the whole thing. I was ready for it.
A serious question. Did everybody watch it? And what were your thoughts on this Tiger King series?
Wait, I
I
want
think
to hear
it'd
about
be
the
interesting
Lion
to
King
see
first.
Jamie.
Anyway,
Lion
to
King.
get to the serious part, we gave
gotta hear about the Lion
$750 to Millie's Pantry,
Oh,
and
good.
another $750, I believe, went to the Living Well. So to help them out. So now you can get to all your comments.
The Tiger King.
Tiger
I
King.
thought that was really
What-
bad.
You haven't seen it?
I don't know what
No.
you're talking about. Nope.
No,
Phil doesn't
good.
know.
Don't waste your time then.
I don't have
Okay.
Netflix.
Oh, it's an actual movie.
I saw
Yeah.
the guy
Oh,
was
it's
in jail or
documentary.
something though. Isn't the guy in jail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Netflix show. You should watch it.
Oh, that guy was
Not
on the
Netflix.
news this morning.
With
Yeah.
the mullet. He's a mullet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him on the news this morning. He was he housed lions and tigers and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't get
Yeah.
the whole thing. Yeah,
That's what I
just a
thought you
little
meant
bit.
at first, Jamie. That's what I thought
No,
you were trying to do.
it was not.
Oh, okay. Until you watch Netflix show, you won't understand how funny it really is. It's
Okay.
it's pretty
We'll have to-
interesting.
We'll
So
have to put that on our list.
Yeah, I saw that on the television this morning. Just a brief little thing on it, and I wondered what the hell it was, but I went on.
Some people really love it where they're watching it again. I think it's going to be a great Halloween costume in October.
no,
With the fancy Jesse, you should totally do it.
no.
Have the tiger shirt and have a mullet.
I'm getting close.
So great.
I'm gonna do it.
Jesse, I think what you need is a kilt.
A kilt?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I could. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I could rock a kilt. Do I have to wear underwear? Is
Yeah.
that-
You
No.
don't have to. That's on you.
Okay.
I think you should.
No.
I think
No?
you should.
You wear underwear. It's a skirt.
True.
Score.
Phil, you've got one, right?
Have 5.
You've got
You
5.
have 5.
Yeah.
Jamie has 1. You don't need 5. 1 is plenty.
I want a leather one.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I don't want to know about your personal life.
Oh, boy. That's funny. You're gonna make it,
Everybody-
Marianne? Are you
A
crying?
leather,
I
Yeah,
don't
think about
know. I just
leather
don't know.
kilt. You could go out and work in it. You know.
That would be pretty cool. I'll
If
tell
you
you,
wanna
ride your Harley on a leather kilt. I mean,
Yeah.
that would be, it would be pretty impressive.
Maybe. We don't know yet. TBD. Jamie, if you want a kilt you can work in, I'll set you up. I've got a friend who's a kilt distributor
Oh, really?
Oh,
from Highland Heritage, and I can help you get set up with that if you're looking for that kind of thing.
Nice, because I've got one that I only wear it now on St. Patrick's Day. But hey, let's start a new fad.
Absolutely.
I'm all right with it. I mean, but you got to. We haven't seen your legs yet, Jess, so we're not sure how it'll go for you. But mine look good in it.
He does have nice legs.
I got chicken legs. It's not gonna work. So no leather, please.
That's my son. Thanks, son.
Oh boy. That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh god.
No,
Well,
we've got to
guys-
get you like some ripstop or something tough that you
Yeah,
can work.
something that's gonna tough and not get burdock.
Yeah.
Just in case you're in the woods.
I hike in one all the time.
Oh no.
Do you?
that's where the tick came from.
Oh,
On your cheek. Yes.
That's how it got there.
Not this one.
Oh boy.
They climb to the highest point they can make it to.
It stopped at your butt, huh?
That was your butt?
Yeah.
I was wearing a belt, so
Go
yep.
here.
Maybe that chick wasn't really a go-getter, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
It was
so
okay to be medium.
I gotta hop off, Phil. It was
All right.
it was
Thanks,
fun
Jesse.
talking to everybody. So I gotta
All
go
right.
make peach moonshine.
All right, and
Fun.
let us know when you're gonna go online for your drinks.
Yes,
Yeah,
let us
definitely.
know.
Yeah, that'll be fun. All right.
Yeah.
Hey.
We'll share it.
Bye, Jesse.
Cool.
Well, let's
That's
do this
fun.
again.
All right.
Bring
Bye.
bourbon next time.
Will do. See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Well, that was
All
good.
right, look at that. Now we're in the middle. Isn't that great?
It's always better that way. Here, watch this.
Ah, look at that.
Oh,
Now they can see the hair. Yeah, baby.
Oh yeah, wait, do that again. There it is. Look at all that hair up there, flowing locks on Jamie Sisson, and you don't see that very often. It's only during times of pandemic, apocalypse, boredom.
Boredom.
Yeah.
boredom.
Well, I think that's what got to me. I just said, you know what, I gotta shave my head.
The problem is going to be when it gets out there where you need a haircut. We're going to find out how good Ginny is.
Just buzz it.
I'm trimming his neck,
She's
but
trimming the neck, yeah, because I can't
Yeah.
stand the hair on my neck.
It's easier to have somebody else. I always cut my own hair anyway.
You do?
I've cut my own hair for 20 years.
oh my gosh.
So it's not ever awesome, but it gets the job done. But the part around the neck is always the hardest part to
Yeah.
make that straight and make it like, you know.
Well, I'm hoping for a real barber because I would like that awesome versus not always awesome haircut.
Just order a pair of clippers,
Oh, I have them,
buzz it up on the side.
but that's what I want to get away from. I would like it to be cut, not buzzed.
Oh,
So who knows? You guys might see a ponytail coming.
yeah. That would be fun.
I hope
Yeah,
so.
that would be.
Actually, Ginny's dad said the same thing last
He was
night.
he's gonna start getting a ponytail.
You should keep it business in the front, though.
Oh yeah. Party in the back.
Oh yeah, won't that be attractive?
Marianne's thinking. She's doing a lot of thinking over there.
A lot,
Wheels
of,
are turning.
a lot of mental pictures are going through my head right now.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people are having questions about what kind of hairstyles they're going to have as we move on through this. Heard recommendations for mullets. Obviously, a lot of people just growing it. And
Well, everything comes back, right? And maybe it's time for the mullet.
well, and that's what I said. You know, I'm going to shave it now. By the time that they let us go outside again, I'll have hair.
Right. Yeah, and then try to get into a barber. Because everybody and his brother will be in there.
I don't need to get into a barber.
Well, true, because you have that okay haircut.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, mine has to be a little bit better, so I'm going to a barber.
Well, you're a politician, so yeah, it makes sense.
Oh, you gotta look good, yeah. I mean, people are knocking at the door to see you.
I miss getting my hair done, so yeah, I'm gonna be wearing more hats now.
It's more of a social thing for you ladies, right? You go out,
Totally.
get a little glass of wine while you're getting your hair cut, all the world's gossip,
Oh, and there's not that in the barber shop?
No way. No. No, you come in, you sit in the chair and you read the newspaper and you just dummy up and watch the TV. There's no gossiping there.
You guys gossip so much. Hey, how's
think
Collins doing?
It's the same whether you're at a man's or a woman's. It's just a good gossip place for the most part.
How's your buddy Tony Collins doing?
Last I talked to him, he was doing well. I see pictures of his grandchildren. I mean, that family has more children. Wow. Yep. I mean, he must have a dozen grandchildren by now. I mean, it's a large family anyways, but now all the kids are having kids, and it's like, holy cow. I would have a difficult time keeping track of them all and their names and things of that nature.
And how are your granddaughters doing? How is this?
Mine are doing great.
They made their own pizza last night.
Yeah.
Did they?
Made some dough and gave them all the fixings, and they made their own pizza. So we got a picture of it.
What do they know about all of this?
I don't know. I don't know how they're.
Well,
I'm not sure.
the 7-year-old knows that there isn't any more school because there's this virus. What does she think about it? I'm not sure. She hasn't talked about it. I guess that's one thing I hadn't asked her. But we're trying to do the social distancing with them as they will come down in the golf cart and we'll just meet them out in the parking lot.
So they know about that.
Yes, they know that we're not, getting real close to one another. But the little one still wants to give hugs all the time.
Of course.
So that's a little bit difficult. But I mean, lives right across the street. So I think our area, nobody's into our area. So I still think it's fine to be a little bit closer to her. Her and Zach and Sam live up there and we're down here. So the 5 of us, across the street, I think we're fairly safe because nobody's coming into our area. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you just got to kind of keep your circle small.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, but it's got to be confusing.
Yeah.
Because
To
they don't know that, it's difficult. You've taught them to hug and give hugs when they see you and when they leave. And now it's, you're trying to shy away from that. And I don't think they quite understand all of it.
So what are you guys doing today?
I got to finalize my taxes.
Woohoo!
Boy, there's that. Why don't you save that for Sunday?
No, because Sunday I'm going to go for a walk.
Oh, okay.
It is supposed to be nicer tomorrow, but I think today we're gonna.
I think it looks nice out there now.
Yeah. I think we're gonna take Samantha the dog for a walk today.
The lake is flat.
Is it? Is that
Good. A little bit of there's slight breeze, but nothing that's making any white caps or what have you. I mean, it's laid down pretty good. So we're thinking of going to the state park and walk around.
Watch out for ticks afterwards.
Yep. Make sure you
I'll
check.
spray ahead of time.
Ginny, make sure you examine Jamie's butt. I hear ticks love the male butt.
I do it a little differently. When I go out hiking like that, I wear my high work boots, and then I tuck my pants down into those work boots.
Okay.
So I stand less of a chance to get a tick on my ass than Phil does.
And then do you tuck your shirt in?
Ahead of time.
Yeah, and tucks his
Yeah,
shirt
and I
in.
tuck my shirts in.
Yeah. So then you're only going to get them on your head.
Right.
And they're easy to find there for now.
Correct. But if you spray the bottom of your shoes before you go out with, backwoods off or something of that nature, you're a lot less likely to get one.
Yeah.
I mean, in spray and I like to spray my pants too because a lot of times they're on the weeds,
right,
which aren't right on the ground, and then they just jump over.
But we got to worry about Samantha the dog too.
Yeah, we have to worry about the dog too, and with all the hunting that I do, I have not had one in the last probably 5 years, 10 years, something like that. Other guys that I hunt with have had them, but so I just kind of follow my little regimen and, of the way I dress when I go out there and the way I, tuck in my pants and spray down and things of that nature. And then it seems to be okay. Because I know a lot of people don't want that on their skin. Well, put it on your clothing. You're going to wash your pants and that's
well,
fine.
they've got stuff specifically for clothing as well.
Right.
I think it even worked better.
Yeah, it might. I haven't tried any of it yet.
Yeah, I have some. I've got a shirt that's treated with it.
Okay.
And I never get a tick when I've got that on. But I've got some spray that I can do the same thing with it. I'm thinking I'll spray my shoes and my pants and stuff like that with it and see if that helps.
Yeah.
But
not
I've actually,
so.
I've been interested in trying to do. I want to do an experiment because I'm a scientist. I want to make it an experiment, but obviously I keep getting ticks on the trail. We've had events where we've had kids go out into the area around the trail and they've gotten a lot of ticks, and that's not fun for anybody. So
more possums.
What's that?
More possums.
Yeah, we do, or hens or something. But what happens is the ticks, they're so tiny and they get on rodents, they get on mice and stuff. That's before they ever get on deer, they get on mice, and that's part of their life cycle. Right. And so what I want to do is get a bunch of, you ever had a hamster?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you get the toilet paper roll and they love to run through it and stuff. So apparently that you can make something called a tick tube, where you take some cotton or something like that and you spray it with permethrin, the stuff that you would treat your clothes with. Mm-hmm. And you stuff that into the toilet paper tubes and you kind of put them about the property. And the
mice will run through there and the ticks will come off.
Well, all the rodents will use the cotton.
Okay, in their nest.
Yeah. And then it keeps the ticks off of them.
And then with these tubes around the yard and stuff, you could have like these little miniature, it would almost be like a miniature circus.
Yeah.
If you set these up accordingly.
Well, not only that, but you'd make a lot of people jealous about the fact that you could obtain toilet paper tubes.
Right. Yeah, you'd have look at what you'd have there. Set up a big top.
At this point.
Oh, it would be just unbelievable. One more attraction down at the outlet trail.
Yeah. Well, I thought about doing them with PVC or something like that so that it could be ongoing reusable.
Right. Mm-hmm. Reusable. Yeah.
But I don't know. I've been thinking of any solution. If you think of a practical solution to get rid of ticks over a large area, let me know.
Live with possums.
Yeah. Do you have a source of possums? Do you have a breeder? A possum dealer?
Jamie's got to know somebody.
I have to check.
What about Nate?
Yeah.
Didn't Nate have one?
I know Nate is a big.
Yeah,
big
years ago Nate had one, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Nate.
All right. Well, that's probably enough for today. Got to get going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for coming on. This was great. Come on again.
Shout anytime.
Hopefully in better times.
Yeah. Looking forward to hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so all you out there in RAHR land, see ya.
Bye.